Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Today is Sunday, the 16th day of January, 2022. First of all, I want to wish happy belated birthday to the Dr. Martin Luther King, whose birthday was January 15th yesterday. May he rest in peace and rise in power. Happy Martin Luther King weekend. I hope you're healthy and COVID free. I hope the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and the first responders that are trying to save lives every day. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep our streets and our sidewalks clean. Blessings upon those that make deliveries, even on days like today, for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to rescue, save, help, recover, and deliver boys and girls and men and women and children, teenagers, from being victims of prostitution, victims of child prostitution, victims of pornography and child pornography, victims of child molestation and pedophilia, victims of human trafficking and sex slave operations. Blessings upon the victims and blessings upon those trying to help them, and double curses on the perverts and profiteers that bring suffering to these people. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children in the United States of America with no roof over their head, and millions around the world in similar conditions or worse. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Blessed be the poor. There was a basketball game last night. Our New York Knicks soundly beat the Atlanta Hawks 117-108. It was, in many ways, one of the best games of the season for the Knicks. If you guys remember, in the beginning of the season, I explained to you how, because Tom Thibodeau teams, like Nick McMillan teams, the defensive-oriented teams, generally start slower because they really focus on the defense first. The offense comes later. And so because of that, they generally start slower, particularly on the offensive side, and they generally start to hit their stride in the middle of the season. Now, the exceptions to this would be if you don't have any turnover. Like if you're bringing back the exact same squad, they might be able to pick up things a little quicker. But if they make any changes, like the Knicks did in bringing in Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, it's going to take time for them to gel. I mean, that's just how it is, because they had two major changes to their starting lineup. And so what we're seeing right now is the process of them moving to that next level, of them getting acclimated, gelling, and starting to get to play better basketball. RJ Barrett, as an individual player, has always been a slow starter. Even in the games, within the games itself, he's generally a guy that comes on later in the game, though sometimes he starts off like gangbusters. Generally, he starts off slower and he lets the game come to him and he develops further along. Julius Randle's learning to do that. RJ Barrett has already been doing that a long time, even at age 21. So you're seeing now RJ Barrett start to really take the reins here. And what's different about, say, RJ Barrett taking the reins and, say, a Quentin Grimes taking the reins is when we saw, for example, Quentin Grimes or Obi Toppin have tremendous games during the stretch of time when a lot of teams were missing key players with COVID, including the Knicks. It was not set in stone that they were going to stay getting those type of heavy minutes. Okay. But with RJ Barrett, before and after the COVID, you know he's going to be a starter. So when you start to see him take the reins, become more aggressive, it's not going to change. That's going to continue. Okay. Sometimes during the course of the game, and even if you saw the game yesterday, Julius Randle played a great game. Let me just start off saying that. The stats, 10 of 21 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, only 1 turnover, plus 12. He scored 24. Great game on both sides of the ball for Julius Randle. Great game. But during the course of the game, at times, he dribbled too much. And it was born out of a couple of things that are different than you see before. Like when he used to do that, he was trying to take over the game. And that was not good for the for the Knicks, right? But yesterday, a couple of times, Atlanta switched coverages on him. So normally he'd get the ball and you'll see the whole Atlanta defense shift toward him. And when that happens now, he has to make a decision, of getting rid of the basketball. And he usually does, or making a shot quickly, moving quickly, making a quick move for a shot or giving the ball. And he's been doing that for the last week and a half, 2 weeks now, and with good results. But what Atlanta also did a couple of times is try to guard him one-on-one. And when he sees that, the correct move is to try to go to the basket and make a move for a basket, because very few people can guard him one-on-one strength-wise. Just forget it. He's 250 pounds, 6'9", very strong like a bull. And so when he had a Trae Young on him, or when he had a smaller player on him, a DeLon Wright trying to guard him, he's going to make a move on that guy, and he should. But sometimes it just took him a while, a couple of too many dribbles to make that move. Now, it's not completely his fault. And the reason I say that is because in one exchange, for example, he had the basketball on the wing and he's dribbling, and Evan Fournier was just watching him. And Evan Fournier was on the strong side of the court and he's just watching. It's almost, and then Julius had to turn to Evan Fournier and almost wave him over to come get the ball. And Evan Fournier suddenly woke up, got the basketball. Julius set a pick and Evan Fournier hits the three. Part of the problem is Fournier just fell asleep in the corner. Like, all right, I'm just going to watch Julius now. Okay. And that's wrong. In fact, that's the same thing that Grimes did a couple of times. He was standing in the corner. I'm just going to stand here and watch. I'm not going to cut. I'm not going to try to get open. I'm not going to move around, try to shift the defense. I'm just going to stand here and watch. They got to get out of that habit. Now, in all fairness, they probably got in that habit because of Julius's past habits. But now Julius is willing to pass the basketball. They have to start moving and giving him angles whereby he could get them the ball. Okay. Julius got 9 assists, but he's not a high level assist guy in terms of knowing how to make difficult passes. He will turn the ball over. You got to give him angles so he can get you the basketball. And so but the good thing is it looks like the Knicks picked that up and adjusted so that they started, especially when actually I have to say, when Fournier came in and Grimes went out, Fournier started moving into positions to try to get the basketball. Too often also, Alec Burke, who's really not a point guard, would stand there and watch Julius when he should be going over to Julius and taking the ball from him, which Julius will give him the ball. But too often he stands on his side like he's a forward and not go take the basketball. So that was this is a little, it's not, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to criticize the Knicks like that, the starting unit, but it's not all Julius's fault and they can improve in this area. RJ though is moving without the ball. RJ's trying to get the ball and RJ's being aggressive. You're not going to stop seeing that. He's going to continue to do that. He's not always going to do like he did yesterday where he scored 26 or 30. He's not going to always do that. In fact, he did not shoot the ball well yesterday. He was 8 of 20. He was 2 of 5, 40% from 3, which is good. 8 of 10 from the line, which is excellent. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, all around stat stuff a type game, but he's not always going to shoot high percentage from the field. And that's okay. As long as he continues to be aggressive and play with the ball in his hands, the high IQ basketball that he naturally plays. He's a natural scorer. He's going to get his points. Just want him to continue to be aggressive like that. And the good thing about that is that Julius is not trying to get in his way from being aggressive. Julius is letting him do his thing. And in fact, Julius is looking for him. So this is very good. For the most of the part yesterday, Julius Randle was making excellent decisions with the basketball. He was, and for me, when I say make a decision. Like, don't just stand there dribbling. Make a decision. And he was doing that for like 90% of the game yesterday. And the results are excellent. If he continues to do that, we're going to be in good shape, y'all. We're going to be in good shape. Second thing, Mitchell Robinson. The difference between this year and last year. First, he's a year more experienced. He's in his 4th season now. He's not committing dumb fouls. Matter of fact, he only had 1 personal foul yesterday. It was in the 4th quarter. He's really smartened up on the defensive end of the floor. He's in shape. He couldn't. So many of you are asked the question, I need him to work on his jump shot. Y'all need to calm down. He was hurt all last summer. He couldn't work on anything. Okay? He couldn't. So he was trying to get healed of his foot and then get in shape, which he's just now doing. You cannot, during the course of the season, change your game. All right? These are NBA players. So this coming summer, I'm telling you now, this coming summer, if he's not hurt, God forbid, you're going to see him work more on offensive repertoire. You'll see him add to his offensive repertoire. The talent is there. The talent for him to do it is there. He just has not had the time this summer to do it. Prior to this past summer, he's been working on what? Not getting in foul trouble, staying on his feet on defense, being in the right place, learning how to call out the defensive assignments. That's the 5 spots responsibility. That's what he's been learning on the NBA level for the previous 2 seasons. Then last season, he was hurt in the summer and he couldn't work on anything. So next summer, give him, some of y'all are trying to microanalyze everybody. Give him a chance to next summer work on his game. Once he's not trying to recover from an injury, right? So then it took him all the way till now to lose the 30 pounds he needed to lose to get himself in the shape he's in now. And he is playing really good. That's number 1. Number 2, also last year, they weren't looking for him. Okay? Alfred Payton wasn't looking for him. They weren't looking for him. Okay, to try to find him for lobs or find him down low. Now they are. Everybody. Julius Randle found him. Burks is looking for him. Fournier is looking for him. Barrett is looking for him. And when you're looking for him, he don't have to be on the 3-point line. Just him rolling to the basket with that length, the hands that he has and the athletic ability draws defenders away from the guy with the ball. Because they gotta make up for him. If they don't, he's going to either get the offensive putback or he's going to catch a lob and flush it on you. And that's what he was doing yesterday. So he ended up with 14 points, 13 boards, led the team in 5 offensive rebounds yesterday. And I'm feeling like his foul shooting is going to come along. I could tell he was disappointed when he missed a foul shot. He's working hard on that. When he gets a chance, he's working hard on that. And I feel like as the year goes on, his foul shooting will get better. Mitch Robb, I told you on the beginning of the season, if we have a healthy Mitch Robb, now I was expecting Tibbs to give some of these kids more time if Kemba and Fournier didn't work out. But no, I should have known better. But that's why I said they'd be top 3 in the East if that was the case. Right now, though, I really don't want to put a ceiling on how good the Knicks can be if they keep playing like this. And again, you're not going to have all the time where they're shooting the lights out. But if Julius all the time, which he can do, makes quick decisions with the basketball, if he decides to continue to hand the basketball to the guards and not try to take over a game, if Mitchell Robinson stays healthy and RJ stays aggressive, there's no ceiling for what this team could do. There really isn't. I don't know what's going to happen. I can just tell you they'll be winning a lot more basketball games. Okay? Evan Fournier. It was not long ago I was calling for the trade of Evan Fournier. I thought he'd be gone. I still think there's a possibility. But man, it's hard to move him now because of how he's playing. I mean, he really has turned a corner. He's got a rhythm. Before, all the way up until like maybe a week ago, it seemed like he was out of rhythm in the offense and he's totally lost on defense, right? Which is the more important. But now he's playing the passing lanes consistently. He still gets beat off the dribble a little too much for my comfort. But with Alec Burks out there and Mitchell Robinson and everybody else playing that scrambling defense, he's not a train wreck anymore. Okay, like he was in the beginning of the season. And offensively, he's got a rhythm. He's stroking that ball nice, man. I mean, he was 4 of 8 from 3, 7 of 13 from the field. He scored 18 points. The Knicks are 12 and 2 when he scores 18 or more. 12 and 2. Okay. And so, cause when you see him scoring like that, the ball is moving. And the Knicks yesterday had what they have. They had, how many assists they had? 24 assists. Not, the Golden State style 30, but listen, it's an improvement. Okay. We in the beginning of the season, we were looking at 25 assists or more a game. The Knicks have been getting less than 20 prior to this last 2 weeks. And now they're starting to get up in the mid-20s. That's really a good sign. I'm thinking this is going to continue. They can continue to move the basketball. It really starts with Julius Randle. If he continues to do what he's doing, you're going to see them assist numbers go up for everybody. Man, what a big time rebound. We needed a rebound. Atlanta made a run. And you recall, they were getting close to tying the game. I think got within 2. They were on the foul line. They missed a foul shot. And Julius did a Dennis Rodman style. Went between 2 dudes and took the basketball. Big time. That's, to me, big time rebound. So I was very happy with him there. And so, no, it was all good. And then, of course, Burks was steady. 17 points, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 6. And then he had 9 rebounds, 8 assists. You know, he was flirting with that triple double. And then of course, again, solid defense from everybody. Obi, I realized yesterday, ain't nothing wrong with Obi. Some of y'all's tripping about Obi because you're looking at his numbers and you're saying, man, he ain't scored no points. He's not even taking a shot. What's going on? The problem with Obi, honestly, is the same problem we had last year. He needs a point guard. Last year, Obi started coming on strong as soon as the Knicks got Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is now hurt. And I love IQ. Glad we got IQ. Although I have to be honest, y'all remember that time I was looking for Desmond Bane. And you'll see what Bane is doing in Memphis, right? I wanted Desmond Bane with that late first round pick. But I'm not going to whine over spilled milk. I'm glad we got IQ. I love IQ. He is not a point guard. Period. Okay? So he doesn't find Obi enough, even though they have worked together. I don't know. IQ's dealing with his own thing. 1 of 6 yesterday from the field. 1 of 3 from 3. 2 turnovers. He was -1. He's one of the few players yesterday that was minus. Him and Obi. I think they need D Rose out there. They need D Rose to run the point. Okay? You put D Rose out there running the point, Obi will get more buckets. That's the way I look, because D Rose is going to push the ball. Obi's going to run the floor knowing somebody's looking for him, and he's going to get buckets. So that's part of the issue. Second thing that I haven't heard anybody talk about, but I'm going to bring it up here. Okay. I would say, there's 30 teams in the NBA. Okay. There is a good, let's say 16 teams in the playoff hunt, right? Top 8 in both conferences, right? But almost every player, except for like your LeBron James level, your Antetokounmpo level, your Kevin Durant level, every player gets nervous at trade time. Every player does. Okay? Everybody does. And it affects their play sometimes. Everybody does that. Especially the younger players, because even though they understand theoretically it's a business, they're afraid to be traded. Okay? Now, I told y'all the issue with Obi is minutes. Minutes and opportunity. See, I was listening to Kevin's presser. Well, it wasn't even the presser, but the introductory interview he did with Rebecca Harlow on Atlanta. He did the interview with her, and he said he talked to the coach and he talked to the GM, and they told him they want him to get practices in. They're expecting to play him. So, and I did expect him to be in that rotation. Some people talking about they're going to cut him or they're going to waive him. All right, let's use some common sense. They traded a lottery pick in Cam Reddish, and they received a lottery pick in Kevin Knox. They did not trade the lottery pick to waive the lottery pick. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's why they're planning on playing Kevin. I'm hoping I'm thinking he cracks that rotation. I was looking at their rotation. I think he cracks that 10-man rotation, 9-man rotation. So, and that I don't think Atlanta's finished moves yet. I think they're going to make some more moves. Some other people may be on the move for Atlanta. If they don't start winning between now and the deadline, the GM has already said everybody's available except Capella and Trae Young. Everybody's available. So I think Kevin's going to be in that rotation for Nate McMillan, at some point in the next week or so. But with Obi, he could be in somebody's rotation. Okay, he could be in somebody's rotation. Lots of teams' rotation. Right now, he can get more than 10 minutes a game. He can start for a lot of teams. Okay? So, even that being the case, though, I don't think he wants to be traded right now. And I kept telling you, I don't think we're going to have any problem with Obi this season. Not yet. But over the summer and going to next season, you might be dealing with rumblings of him. But he could get traded. I don't want him to leave. I know y'all don't want him to leave. He could get traded. Okay? And it's on his mind. It's on all players' mind. This trade deadline. You'll see a lot of players breathe a sigh of relief once the trade deadline is passed. You see that. I see it every year. Okay? So it's in the back of their mind. And plus, in New York, they just saw Kev go. You see how they was, greeting Kev and the love that they showed to him when they just played them. Guys are close. These are more than just teammates. They're human beings. They love each other. They're really close in New York, right? The team. And so Obi don't want to leave right now. All right? He don't. But that don't mean he won't. And in his mind, it could be affecting his play, is what I'm saying to you. Okay? He really could be affecting his play. Like, for example, I'm sure Grimes is feeling good to know, and don't think they don't know, that Atlanta wanted him. And then the Don said, no, we're not giving you up, Grimes. And then Tibbs backs it up and said, no, I love Quentin Grimes. He said it twice. I love Quentin Grimes. So that Grimes is feeling pretty secure right now, as he should. But somebody like Obi, I don't know. And suppose some team asked for quickly. I don't know. So, and Evan Fournier, again, he's got to hear the rumors. So Evan, though, been in the league 11 years. He's a pro. He's been traded. That wouldn't be his first rodeo. You understand? So I think that's affecting Obi. So the combination of that and when D Rose actually gets back, which I'm pretty sure will be, at least at the latest after the All-Star break, he'll be back if he's not before then. Those two things will make Obi better. Right now, he's struggling with those things. Right now, he's dealing with that. Okay. So that's that. But they played a great game. But because of the lack of the point guard in the second unit, they're not really being productive. They missed D Rose. Now, if they had Alec Burks in the second unit, you'd see that production pick up because Burks is really Swiss Army knife. But Tibbs is not going to take him out right now because they don't win 3 straight. So he's not doing it. And I don't know. I read some, again, don't know why I waste my time, but I read Mark Berman article talking about that Kemba should be ready to make his return tomorrow, on Martin Luther King Day. Make his return where? I don't know, unless he's coming into the second unit. Now, Kemba, I'd like him in the second unit right now, without Derrick Rose there. I'd like to see him in the second unit because you know why? He's a real point guard. Okay. And that would help Obi. It would help the whole second unit. But Tibbs did make a statement, which, I guess you can give him room to change. And he said, I don't see Kemba as anything but a starter. And he ain't changing his starters right now. He's not doing it. So I don't know what Kemba's going to play. I would not mind seeing him in the second unit right here, though. Him, Obi, IQ, Gibson, Grimes. I would not mind seeing that. Okay. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. He apparently, from what the Post wrote, he only stayed in New York for conditioning purposes. Okay. That's what they say. He stayed in New York for conditioning and he'll be ready to play Monday. He's been out a minute now. So his knees should be, feeling a little better, ready to go, at least for a couple of games. So we'll see. This is going to be interesting to see. I speculate also they could be trying to trade him. Okay. But we'll see. So tomorrow, the Knicks are at the Garden against the Charlotte Hornets. And I've said this before. Maybe it's getting old, but I'm going to say it for this. This is a big game. Big game. Because right now, Charlotte just lost on Friday. They lost on Friday I think they lost to Orlando on Friday. They lost to somebody on Friday. And so right now, the Knicks are 22-21. Right now, they're 1 game away from Charlotte for the 7th seed. 1 game. So if they beat Charlotte tomorrow, they become the 7th seed. Okay? Right now, there's a little bit of distance between them and the 6th seed. They're actually 3.5 games out of the 6th seed and the 5th seed, because Philly and Cleveland are tied for the 5th and 6th seed right now. Both of them are tied. Brooklyn is vulnerable for 2 reasons. Kevin Durant is now out, 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks? He's out for a minute. Tweaked his knee the other day. That's big time. Make no mistake. I'm not saying James Harden ain't no superstar. I'm not saying, I told y'all, Kyrie Irving's the best finisher. Aside from Derrick Rose, I find him to be the best finisher in basketball history. Prime Derrick Rose was the greatest finisher I've ever seen. Kyrie is right there, And so, but they don't go nowhere without Kevin Durant. They're not going nowhere without Kevin Durant. Okay? They just not. And so they're vulnerable. They could be taken right now. Okay? Not only, second reason, James Harden is basically on an expiring deal. Do you know he's a player option at the end of the season? Player option. He could be traded. Watch Philadelphia. Watch Ben Simmons. There's a trade right there. Okay? May not happen till after the year, but that's something that can happen. So right now, with that being the case, and the Nets not offering, they did not offer Harden or Kyrie an extension yet. Their extension eligible didn't offer them. There's problems in Brooklyn. They could be taken. Okay? They could be taken. Levine tweaked his knee the other night. Okay? And they got blown out. Matter of fact, Chicago has lost 3 straight. And they got blown out their last 2 games. They could be taken. The top of the East is open, y'all. And Miami, I think, is ready to pounce. Miami is really only a game out of first. Milwaukee's 2 games out of first. This is going to get very interesting very quickly. Very quickly. The loss of Ricky Rubio is big for Cleveland. Okay. They had somebody to make up for Colin Sexton. Now they don't. Okay. So the Knicks, what I'm saying is, it's beginning. We knew it was going to be tight all year, the East. We knew it, right? We were not surprised at that. And we talked about we here, we deep. We talked about Mob Deep, only the strong survive, right? Here we are. Here we are. This is a big week for the Knicks. So tomorrow's a huge game. If we could beat Charlotte tomorrow, we're 7th seed. Knocking on the door to the big boys. Don't look now, but here come Tibbs and his crew. I told you a couple days ago, it's a chess match within the team between the Don and Tibbs, right? And we're going to see what Tibbs got. We're going to see what he do. Hey, looking pretty good. 3 straight. Here they come. Defense now. They had gotten behind on defense where their opponent's points per game was growing up and their points per game going down. Now it's even. It's 104.6 period. And that's an improvement. It was really, if you look last week, it was the opposite direction. The defense is coming. You're starting to see the maturation of the Tom Thibodeau defense. Quentin Grimes is not going anywhere out of the rotation. He's going to be there. That defense this kid plays is phenomenal, right? Mitch Rob getting in shape. Julius passing the rock, making quick decisions. RJ deciding to take over and let the offense flow through him. Evan Fournier playing very good ball, feeling very comfortable. If they keep playing like this, let me make a prediction. If they win tomorrow and then beat Minnesota on the second night of a back-to-back, Evan's staying. I don't think they trade him. Okay? I don't think they do. If that happens. Because they're playing too good. They're not going to do it. Okay? Now, they may trade Kemba. They may trade Obi. But they're not trading Evan. Is what it is. That don't stop me from believing and understanding that Grimes is better. I'm not getting all hyped on the Evan train like that. I mean, I like Evan. I'm glad they win it. But I'm just going to tell you, I'm just thinking the cold hard facts. Quentin Grimes is a better basketball player. And he's going to really be better next year. So I don't know what's going to happen. But this year, if they keep playing like they playing, Evan might stay here. I was questioning whether I was right about Julius Randle. Remember I put the video up. Was I wrong about Randle? Because he started tripping for a minute. But the COVID thing, the health and safety protocols, and I believe the social media from Knicks Nation got homie thinking And he's playing really good ball right now. Really good ball. So, we're on our way, Knicks Nation. I think we're doing good. Tomorrow's a huge game. Huge game. Huge game. And it's against a really good team. This ain't no scrub team, the Charlotte Hornets. I told you at the beginning of the season I like the Hornets and the Pacers. Now, the Pacers, but the Hornets, this daggone LaMelo Ball's the real deal. And he gonna put on a show in Madison Square Garden tomorrow. Knicks better be ready, because he coming. Okay? And here come the other Bridges boy that we wanted. The one I really wanted was Miles. That's what I wanted. And here he come tomorrow, and he's playing at an all-star level to me. Miles Bridges playing all-star level right now. So this is going to be a tough game. No joke. But I think the Knicks are ready. I think we're ready to do some business now. So let's see what happens. It's a big game. Big game tomorrow. So we can get that 7 seed and move from there. We in good shape. I think the next 4 games for the Knicks are at home. I think we got a 4-game homestand. They're one of the last homestands of this type because they're going to have a long road trip in March. Very long road trip in March. Right now, Charlotte, Minnesota, New Orleans at home. Yeah, 3-game homestand. Nope. Charlotte, Minnesota, New Orleans, and the Clippers all at home. Okay? Basically, 4-game homestand. And so they've been playing good at home now. They got a winning record at home. So this is some situation right here. My goodness, man. So we're going to see what happens, man. Then we go on the road, Cleveland and Miami and Milwaukee. That's going to be murderous road, and it's going to be extremely important for the Knicks seeding. Okay? Woo, lots happening, y'all. Lots happening. So I don't even know what Cam Reddish fits in all this. I'm not even worried about it right now. And honestly, I don't think Tibbs is either. I don't know if you're going to see a lot of Cam. Where's he going to play? They're not taking Fournier out the starting lineup. I can 100% guarantee you, he's not taking Grimes minutes. Maybe he takes Obi's minutes. Maybe Obi gets traded now. And now those minutes go to Cam. We're going to see what happens, y'all. It's going to be intrigue. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be intrigue. I tell you what, Obi doesn't want to get traded. You can tell by how he's playing. It's bothering him. This trade season is hard on the NBA players. They really don't want to. Some of them, especially ones that like where they at, they don't want to get traded. He'll be breathing a sigh of relief. You'll see him smile once the trade deadline is over. Okay? But anyway, we're going to see. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Madison Square Garden, New York Knicks, Charlotte Hornets for the 7th seed. Y'all be safe out there. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Martin Luther King weekend. Shalom.